the structure is key, but sometimes it's not the limiting factor.
Hi guys, welcome back to yet another episode. My name is Wango Jacqueline, and like I promised you on my previous videos, I'll be taking you to farmers so that we can compare what they are doing differently. So if something works for you, well and good, and we can see what they are feeding their cows so that they can have high producing cows. So guys, today we are in Embu County, and our farmer today he left his work in a large dairy farm, and he started doing his own farming. Yes, he does not have a big number of cows, but what he has is high producing cows. So today we are concentrating on quality, not quantity. So let's go and see what he is doing. Introduce yourself so that you can tell us what you have been doing here and why you left your work as were you a manager in a farm? Yes, so first introduce yourself to the viewers.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Wanja Eric, a young farmer, an upcoming farmer who has now ventured into dairy farming after much struggle with employment and the career perspectives. And now this far is where we are.
And now let's start from the beginning to Jue, why you left your work as a dairy farm. You are working in a big dairy farm. Why you left your work there as a manager and you opted to start your own small farm. Why was that?
I will take you some steps back.
Mm.
To start with, professionally, I'm an accountant,
Mhm.
and I've been to the accounting field for a number of times, for a number of years. Uh, with the interest of farming, I met myself as a manager to a company that is entitled to with a dairy farm.
Mhm.
That's where I've been a manager for a biggest perspective, and that's where I got the knowledge of farming.
Mhm.
Uh, Currently in Kenya,
Mhm.
jobs are a bit competitive, are
Mhm.
demanding, and
Mhm.
sometimes farming is a solution we need in
Mhm.
Kenya and the entire world currently. And that's why I came to venture into dairy
Mhm.
farming.
So you thought it was better to leave the farm, the big farm, to start
Yes,
your own as small as it is
yes.
now. Uh, I can see the space that you're using is not as big, and there are some myths that people have. They need to have a big land to
Mm.
start dairy farming. So, what can you say about that? Because I see that you have a small space, but you are managing it very well. So, how about starting small? So, how did you go about it?
The aspect of that people have about size of the farm
Mm-hmm.
currently is not an issue. Uh, the place I'm using
Mm.
and even my home standard is less than 50 by 100, less
Mm.
than.
Mm.
So it's about management and space utilization. That's everything about farming.
So you can attest to the fact that you don't need a big space for you to start.
Exactly. You don't need
Eh?
space, just a space for those cows
Mm.
to be.
And let me tell you, he's not only doing this, this is just part-time job. So for those who are working in a white collar job and they want to start dairy farming, this work needs a very short time. So
Yeah.
like um how many hours do you need for you to be sure that you have done everything before you go to your work in the morning to do other things in the morning? So how many hours do you put in the morning and in the evening? Like let's say per day, how many hours can you say you spend here?
Um, about time,
Mhm.
as I stated earlier, it's about management,
Mhm.
still time management. So with the modern way of farming,
Mm.
I utilize less than 3 hours per day
Let's check.
because uh, from 6 to
Mm.
around 7, I'm done with them. Milk, do the cleanness, feed, and I'm done. Then I go to work. In the evening, the same thing. Few minutes for milking,
Mm.
cleaning, and you're done again.
So it is very possible for someone to do the dairy farm or to do dairy farming as
Uh,
they are doing other things.
exactly, absolutely.
So there is something else, people. I don't know what you can say about it. Eh? Um, so many people are expanding their farm without knowing if they are breaking through. And what do you think is the best time to expand the farm?
Expansion
Mm.
comes on its own. You don't just dictate. It
Mm-hmm.
comes on its own. It's about the you need accountability is
Mm-hmm.
very key to farming, not just for business, but
Mm.
even to farming because farming is a business.
Mm.
So it's about how accountable you are, how
Mm.
are you are record keeping.
Mm.
That's when you know, no, for now, there's a breakthrough.
Mm.
That means from this point, I can now manage to invest more to expand my farm. Yeah.
Okay. So there are so many people who have been asking, who have been interested in starting a dairy farm, and they want to start small. I want to go back to the construction and let's try to calculate how much you spend, not on the cows, but
Mm,
on the structure itself. Because there are some people who want to start small, they want to start with one, they want to start with two or three. Like, for example, in your case, you have two, which are high producers. Eh? But for now, let's talk about the structure. How much can you say you use to construct this simple structure for those who want to start small?
For starters,
Mhm.
sometimes we always say the structure is key, but sometimes it's not the limiting factor. Don't be limited with the structure.
Mm.
So what you can say you want to start farming. For this kind of, it's a bit cheap,
Mhm.
very cheap. With the material at least locally available,
Mhm.
you need a budget of around 60,000,
60,000.
and the 60,000 you'll
Mm.
have a shed to cater for around 3 to 4
Mhm.
high producing cows.
So with 60,000, guys, we'll have a simple structure that you can start your farm with two or three cows. Eh? So let's now start. I know people are waiting on a feeding program and
Mm.
everything, but let me start with we want to understand how is your program from when you wake up. Now, take us through. What do you do when you wake up? What time do you milk? Yeah, take us through your day.
So we are young.
Mhm.
That means we ought to rise early,
Mhm.
prepare, and at least be ready for work.
Mm.
So on my case, I actually wake up around 6.
Mhm.
I attend my cattle
Mhm.
at from around 6:10.
Mhm.
So the first thing we do is
Mm.
not milking,
Mhm.
is now cleanliness because
Mm.
for now I'm coming to run.
Mm.
It's with the Frisian breed.
Mm.
It's a key aspect
Yeah,
on
very.
it.
Yeah.
So around cleaning it to take for you because we do at least twice or thrice per day.
Mm.
That means in the morning you don't have that much road. So around 6:30 you are
Mm.
done. That's
Mm.
when you get to milking. Milking takes around maximum of around 20 minutes.
Mhm.
You need to be a bit fast
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, the aspect of 8 minutes per cow,
Mm.
it need to be maintained.
Now let's go to the part that most people are waiting for. I know you guys you're waiting for this part. So most people they have a challenge of feeding, or yes, they are feeding their cows, but they are not producing as much. Now we want to know your routine when it comes to feeding, what you are feeding, how you are feeding, and yeah. So how many times do you feed your cows?
Once per day.
Once per day.
Yes.
Are you sure that is enough?
Exactly once per day.
So what do you feed them that once? What do you feed them?
I think everything is about research
Yeah.
and
What?
information.
Yeah.
And for you to, it's a business like any other.
Yes.
So the more you feed, the
Mm.
more expense you get.
Yes.
And there's an aspect that you may feed too much,
Mm.
but it will not go parallel to the profit
Mm.
margin you're getting.
Yes.
So feeding is you feed smart,
Mhm.
feed the proper fodder,
Mhm.
timely, well prepared,
Mm.
for you to ensure that you use the retro amount of fodder as possible. Because
So,
at the end of the day, it's
mm.
about profitability level.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, and that is what I told you. I told them on my previous video. I told them what we're looking for in this is profit, because at the end of the day, this is a business. So, what do you feed? Like, do you feed your food direct from the farm, or how do you go about it?
For my case,
Mm.
I'm pure silage,
Mm-hmm.
unless once in a while, of which I can't say I do it.
Mm.
It's pure silage.
Yes.
As you have seen, that's what you have been doing outside
Yes.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Advantage of silage is
Mm.
there's a number of aspects.
Mm-hmm.
You are sure they'll feed on time,
Mm-hmm.
right? Quality fodder,
Mm-hmm.
and no matter what happens, in case of any emergency, they
Mm-hmm.
still feed on time. Eh? But now going to take everything from the farm
Mm.
sometimes will be inconvenienced.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially now that you have another job that
yeah.
you, yeah, that will be very inconvenient of you. So, let's talk about concentrating dairy feeds. So, how much do you feed and what do you use?
Um, Feeding,
Mm.
we don't feed on a parallel level.
Mm-hmm.
We do feeding on in consideration to the outcome of the cow, the
Mm.
production of the cow.
Mm.
So the higher the production,
Mm-hmm.
the higher the feeding rate.
And
Rice
the
produces
highest
this one
producer is
at 24 liters currently per
24
day.
liters.
Yes.
So, how much can you say you produce from the two cows in a day?
Around an average of 40 liters.
40 liters.
Yeah.
So that is 21 and a bit, yeah, I see.
Yeah. It's on an average.
Yeah.
Not exact.
Uh,
So sometimes this one is at 20,
mm,
21, sometimes at 19. But
mm,
that one, we
mm,
are sure of 24. Yeah,
24.
that one you are very sure of
So
24.
it's around 40, 40 something.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I'm giving an average of
And
40.
for two cows to give you such an amount of milk is not easy. I know you have
Sure.
worked on it.
Mm.
So what like I was asking, what feed are you using? Because I know for you to produce such an amount of milk, you need good feed.
Um, Feeds is about quality.
Mm-hmm.
Quality is the key. It's not even about the matter of cost.
Mm,
A feed can be very, very expensive, but
mm,
the production aspect of it
mm,
is really epic.
mm-hmm,
So that's what we always look. So currently, for me, for the past 4 months,
mm.
I'm using Kim feeds.
Kim's.
Yeah, Kim's.
Mm-hmm.
That's the feeds I'm using.
And what can you say is different, or what difference does Kim's feed has from the other feeds that you have been using before?
I've used several, but
Mm-hmm.
allow me not to name them
Yeah, of course.
for this.
Yes.
But the reason why I came to change
Mm,
is the aspect of quality.
mm-hmm,
Quality is everything
mm,
about dairy farming. Quality
mm,
from feeding to even the feed themselves. So what I've come to understand
mm,
is until you try something that you can know the
mm,
quality of that product.
mm,
So I'll tell them, try Kim.
mm.
You'll see.
Yeah, so you're saying one of the contributors of your milk, yani unaweza sema it has really contributed into high production is the feed that you're
The
using.
feed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never. Okay, we are going to research on kids so that
Yeah.
we
Do
can.
research. They are very open. Those people,
eh,
they are a bit open. If
eh,
you get an instance and you're not comfortable,
mm,
they'll send someone here.
okay.
So in case of poor quality,
Mm,
they are there.
mm.
It's not about theories and stories.
Yeah, because so many people are frustrated with the feeds that you're
Yeah,
using, and there are so many people who are asking what the best feed they are going to use. What can we use for high production? And some things you give, and then all of a sudden the amount of the milk that you get drops.
yeah.
So if Kims is working for you, well and good. We are going to try it, and
It's
then
okay.
we'll come back with
Mm,
nini results
mm,
tujue ama inafanya kazi.
mm,
Now that we have touched on feeding and such things, let's talk about insemination and the breed of your cows. So how do you go about inseminating your cows? Because I've realized most people don't understand um, the best ways of insemination, like the breed that you're giving your cow.
mm,
Sometimes you might find you are giving the wrong semen to your cows. Maybe they belong to the brother of the cow or the
mm.
sister. Not the sister, the brother and the cousins
Mm.
of the the cow. So how do you go about it?
um, I'll start by saying
Mm,
everything is about information.
mm,
Uh, it's one of the things that I believe has become a challenge to a number of farmers.
yes.
Semen. or the bull that you are giving
Mm.
should not be actually the same
Mm.
with the daughter, the
Mm.
previous daughter.
Yes.
So for me, I'm doing Austin. I'm doing Austin,
Mm-hmm.
African Austin, because there are a number of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about your research,
Mm.
the production of the daughter of this, of the mother. So your opinion or your target is the daughter
Mm.
need to produce to this amount or
Yes.
to this quantity.
Mm.
So for you to go there,
Mm.
you have to stand and see
Mm.
which semen
Mm.
fits your cow. Mostly
And
that's the key part of it.
mm.
Information and
Mm.
research. So that you can know at least you don't downgrade from where you are. You
Mm.
just need to upgrade.
And for the record, guys, his cows, they are first time covers. So that
Mm.
means if they are producing 24 liters and right now they are first covers, that
Yes.
means the next time they are calving, the production will be even much higher. So, what can you say has been the biggest challenge that you have been faced with since you started keeping cows?
Uh, Frisian to say
Mm.
mostly Austin
Mm.
to be specific. Uh, it's a daily cow which is a bit funny.
Mhm.
I will use that word funny.
Mhm.
It's very sensitive to a number of things.
Mm.
Climate, to feed,
Mm.
to the structure, tenderness, and everything else.
Mm.
So for you to venture into Frisian,
Mm.
at least the biggest challenge I've seen mostly is about adaptation. That's
Mm.
one.
Mm.
Mm, they are a bit, most of them,
Mm.
they are FA feeders. So you need to work smart to ensure that you meet their targets of
Eh,
the feeds.
and actually when a profit you
Exactly,
get
because at
your
the end of the day,
profit,
it's a
you're
business.
breaking
You need to break even.
eh,
Yeah, that's the biggest
the
challenge.
biggest challenge. Eh?
Um, Another challenge has been to feed.
Mm.
Before, I'm giving a story from when I started.
Before, yeah.
Since it's a challenge for
Mm.
you as a farmer,
Mm.
because if you don't get the correct feed, the quality
Mm.
feeds,
Mm.
production is already directly affected.
Mm.
The curve goes directly.
Mm.
If you give poor on this side, you get poor result on the other hand. So that's another thing. Cost mostly we are. I've been trying to avoid to minimize my cost,
Mm.
and of course as a farmer you even minimize cost
Mm.
on feeds. Sometimes minimizing cost on feed you
Mm.
get low quality feeds.
Mm.
So after research, after information, and tried a number of them,
Mm.
uh, that challenge is now coming fading away
Mm.
to where we are, and we expect maybe to get more of the same.
So what you're saying, it's better you buy fins that they are a bit higher on price.
Yes.
You don't compromise on fins. You better compromise on other things, but
Yes.
not fins.
Yes.
And actually, something else people don't know. You don't. It's about the salt,
Mm,
because so many farmers compromise on salt
mm,
and
sure. Uh,
inaletanga shida sana baadaye. So what do you feed to your cows? Okay, I can see you have this one, eh?
mm,
But apart from this, do you have another salt that you give
mm.
together with the concentrate?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Mm.
Of course, it has to. This is just for supplementation, keeping
Mm-hmm.
them busy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a token of the appreciation of what they are doing.
Yeah, it's
But
good to appreciate them.
you need
Yeah.
quality minerals
Mm.
and enough, not just quality,
Mm.
but enough. On average,
Mm.
a a nice producing cow needs
Mm.
around 5 kilos per month, a minimum of 5 kilos per month.
Per month.
Yes.
Okay.
So you need quality and enough
Mm.
because you need not less than 150 grams per day.
Okay. And what about the market? Milk market. I know there is already market for milk, yes,
Mm.
but okay, we don't want to say exactly what they are paying, but are they paying enough as you'd expect?
I'll talk from the farmer's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest challenge you have in Kenya. Not to me,
Mm.
in Kenya.
Mm.
Um, uh, if you compare the inputs
Mm-hmm.
to the outputs, they are not really balancing. We are not bad off.
Mm.
The cooperatives are trying. the private firms are trying, but yet we still want to see at least the government venturing more to stabilize on the prices, because at the end of the day, for farmers are the support to the Kenyan system. We really need to for them to at least stabilize, to be, if the inputs are a bit high, then on the other hand, to have to be in an equilibrium to a certain point.
So that's why you said you need to know what you're feeding so that you don't feed
Exactly,
more
exactly.
and then get less.
Exactly, because
Now I get you.
inputs are a bit expensive for you to produce
1 liter of milk. How much?
one
How much
one
do
liter
you?
of milk.
Yeah.
You need to work smart. You really need to work smart.
Have you ever calculated how much you need to produce 1 liter?
Yes, I've done, but allow me not to share it for now, for some other reasons. But you can, the easiest way for anybody, it's on average. You get the average of whatever you're feeding, the duration, and the production, the total production of your cow.
Okay.
Yes.
So, in conclusion, can you say dairy farming is a business venture that people should or can try?
I think the word should not be can.
Mm.
They should.
They should.
It can be done by anybody, not necessarily at the place you are. Even if you are working in a bit far place, it's a good investment. A really good investment.
And let me ask you something else. Do you think it's viable that the business is viable if you do it as a mobile farmer?
Yes, it's very viable. Very viable. Only you just need to check on some very few main aspects.
Yeah, well, I'm asking that because I know so many people who are residing in towns and they have maybe a piece of land in the villages and they would like to start a small farm or even a big farm, but they are afraid that they won't be able to start because of management.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I was in my previous video, I was telling people that they need to find what well-informed workers. Now, I know you have worked in a dairy farm, in a big dairy farm before, but what can you tell people who want to start a dairy farm and then they want to hire a manager or workers? What is the biggest challenge you say those farmers are facing?
I would say get the, don't fear to start. Start. Get the right people. Get the right personnel. Uh, avoid avoid, what I can say is avoid paying too low to get work done. Then your work being done a bit shoddy. Get the right people for the right purpose, for the right job at the right time. It will actually work in a nice way.
So if you compensate people well, they're going to give you a good job. If you don't, that's a problem.
In the world we are in, you can attest. People are motivating a different way. And a good pay sometimes motivate
Motivates,
people.
yes.
You'll get, there are some expense that will fade away that you could be paying a bit higher if you don't compensate in the best way. So sometimes getting the right personnel at the right time for the right purpose, and information. Information goes along with accountability, because at the end of the day, if you are far, you need to be accountable.
Yes.
In advantage currently, there are a number of things you can do to ensure you can manage even your farm in a distance,
Yeah.
not necessarily being there.
Yeah, and there's so many apps that they are
Yes,
there to
yes,
facilitate
yes.
that.
The system these days are very good. You can now get the data of your cattle from as far as you can. So at least when you're coming, you still know you have the data. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, business is about the data. Yes.
Okay, let me take you back to the quality of the cows.
Mm,
Do you think the lower the quality of your cows,
mm.
the higher the fees and the higher you need to do, the much you need to do? Because I feel like it's much easier to manage a good graded cow than managing a zembu or another.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Do you think that's true? Because that's just my
Uh,
thought.
I I can concur and say it's true.
Mhm.
Um, breeding
Mm.
is very key. The quality of your cattle is about it comes from the breeding.
Mm.
So of course you don't expect us able to produce 20 liters,
Mm.
even if you feed daily full bag.
Mm. Mm.
It's from quality semen
Mm.
to quality breeds. The transition goes on and on to higher production.
Mm.
You can't expect an higher production, but the quality of the cattle you have
Mm.
are not of the quality you
Mm.
need.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Cause where? Okay.
It's a
Yeah,
challenge, by the way.
it's a
It's
challenge.
it's really a
Most
challenge.
people have that challenge. They don't have a good graded. They don't have good graded cows, and
Mm.
then they are complaining they are not producing as much.
Yeah.
Mm.
I've had that severally
Mm-hmm.
to a number of farmers, but sometimes I would say risk everything. If you have two and you feel they are not to the exact quality you need,
Mm.
sell the two, combine, have
Mm.
one
Mm.
which your trees is producing
Mm.
as a nice milk production.
Mm.
That means you now have a start of
Mm.
a certain place to where you
Eh,
can be. You get.
yes.
So it's about from quality start from the semen.
Yes.
What is your bull?
Mm.
What's the daughter? How is the history of the mother?
Mm.
That lineage, it has
Mm.
to be there. It's compulsory.
If you don't know the lineage.
If you don't know the lineage, you are not in business.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you so much, Mr. Eric, for welcoming us to your home, for showing us and explaining to us. I know maybe sometime next year or even 2 years to come,
Mm,
we'll come back here
mm,
to a bigger farm.
sure.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
if you're managing these two cows
Mm.
that well, then you should have more. You should you should have more.
uh,
So thank you so much for welcoming us to your farm.
Welcome
Yeah.
and feel home.
Hmm.
Next time you want to visit,
Hmm.
just visit. It's a very cool place, no noise.
Hmm.
Uh, at least everyone is at peace when you're here.
Thank you so much. So,
Uh,
guys, thank you so much for watching. That's where we are going to end our episode today. See you next time.